Welcome back to HR After Dark. I'm Marcia.
And I'm Megan, and I'm so excited to introduce our guest today, Stephanie D'Angelo, who is the founder and CEO of HerClub. Welcome,
Hey guys.
Steph.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. How are you?
I'm great. Honestly, I mean, we're coming off an Eagles win, so
We are. Go
everyone's
Birds.
feeling
Should I
good.
do the chant now?
Yep.
E-A-G-L-E-S.
I feel like it could be like a little like presumptuous. I'm worried about Ash is very superstitious about predicting Eagles wins, so I feel
I
like
don't
we
think
should
predict.
we should just keep the
Nope.
We're just
Super
gonna
Bowl.
Full force ahead, strong. We're going to win.
I love
this.
it.
Okay.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that for you too. I'm
Yeah.
gonna dance right in the middle and just not go one way or the other
I
because
love
I'm
it.
nervous.
Yeah. What do you have?
lady.
What are you two drinking, ladies?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Today, you know what, we tried a little bit different. It is HR After Dark.
Yes, it is.
So today is actually, it has a peanut butter whiskey. And I know you know this one.
Starts with an S.
Come on.
Screwball.
Yes. Da, 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 da.
That came out way too easy, actually.
go.
Now that I
Click,
think
click.
about it. Yeah.
Cheers.
I love this.
Yeah,
for you
well,
guys. Yeah.
2 more months.
Yeah. This is my little mocktail today.
That's okay.
So these are great glasses that we got recently. So,
They are.
Yeah.
Sponsored.
But you have a good reason, so.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us.
Happy to
So happy to have you here. So there's a lot of things I want to talk to you about today. Of course. Are you trying to rub that in?
No.
I
I haven't had a screwball in a long time. It's
I love
really,
a
it's very
screwball.
tasty.
Yeah.
Like a peanut butter,
So good.
you know, what's those things called? You know, the peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah.
Reese's
peanut.
cup?
Yeah, Reese's
Reese's,
cup.
I
thank you.
know.
Yeah.
I have a bottle of that in my freezer.
Do you really? Ooh.
She's
Sits
waiting to bring it
there.
out
I'm
for another
waiting.
couple
June,
more
June
months.
1st. Welcome home, baby.
Literally and figuratively.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's
all
fine.
right. Let's get back on track. This is my problem. Here we go. So we
We did this all the time, Steph.
No, I
try to
love.
get on track, and then we just like
This is the better part of it, anyways. So like, why even?
I do.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about her club, and I wanted to talk about the HR function for an entrepreneur and how it could be probably a little nightmarish sometimes.
Very.
So why don't you tell us about you?
Okay.
Give us
And how you got started with
Yeah,
Her
how
Club.
you
I
got
mean, it's a
started.
great title, and people have no idea sometimes what Her Club is, and you already have it under you. So
Yes.
fill us in.
Happy to. So, yes, HerClub is a company that I created. I worked in public accounting for 10 years, and I
bless you.
realized, thank you. I realized I was missing out. I was at a networking event one evening, and the conversation pivoted to golf, and it was a smaller event, and every single person in the room was able to talk about golf except for myself and one other female minority. And so as the first one to go to college in my family, I was like really taken aback by this because I did not play golf growing up or have access to anything like that. So once I left there, it was a moment, and I started to research golf and business and women. And so I had this newfound interest, passion, some might say, very quickly. And so then one of my partners at my firm gifted me golf clubs and a golf lesson. And after one lesson, it was like my career. Like doors were opening for me, partners were respecting me more. And that's when I realized, like, holy crap, this is not just a health and well-being activity. This is a critical professional development skill. And why don't women have this skill? And so I started Her Club under the assumption that men aren't inviting women to golf and boo men a little bit. But then the more I talked to women, the more that I realized that, no, we're being invited. And we're not capitalizing on that because we're scared, intimidated, overwhelmed, don't know where to start, etc.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks everyone's good out on the golf course, and that's just not the case, right? So
I can attest to that.
yeah, exactly. But the point is, you'll still get out there. You'll still get out there.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that's the point. It's just kind of realizing. So that's when I was like, okay, women aren't even getting to the clinic or the lesson or the outing. So we need to get to them before that. So Her Club is my company, passion product. And I just really want to empower women to really understand that you don't have to be good. What's out there? Money is out there. Decision makers are out there. And it's really important that we're out there so we get access to that because, or you can attest to funding and all of that stuff for women. And I think there's a direct correlation to why, what are women 51% of the workforce, but only
Getting more,
10%?
getting higher.
Yes,
Yes.
but only 10% of Fortune 500 CEOs. Like the disparity is crazy. So now I've really ranted a lot. So.
No, this is good. And How long had you been playing before you were like, I have to create this?
Like months.
Months,
Like
okay.
so short. It literally
Got it.
happened at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you went out there for the first time, did you like it?
Oh, yeah, I did like it. And I
Yeah.
didn't think I was going to. I was like, it's pretentious. It's unwelcoming. These are not character values that I hold. So I was just like, I am not going to like it, but I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And I went out there, and after 50 bad swings and then that one contact that everybody talks about, and I was like,
Yeah, it's the best
I
feeling
love
ever.
it.
Yeah.
And
It's the
that's
best
what
and
keeps
worst
you going.
feeling.
Yeah.
It's like the most inconsistent, frustrating thing you can do. But like if you crave that,
Yeah.
if you you can kind of maintain yourself out there, I think it's so fun.
Absolutely.
To keep going after it.
And then trying to figure out how to spread the word of what you're doing, because we do a lot of outings every year, probably about 4 or 5, and we typically are like the foursome women.
Yeah.
But we hold our own.
Yeah.
And we always try to get our ace on our team to make us look good, for like that scramble.
Yep.
And
And
one good person.
it's all we need. It's all we need. We'll take care of the rest. And ironically enough, we just have so much fun, but it is sometimes even awkward too, because when you hang out, then you go to dinner and then you're all talking. It's still, you have to push your way in sometimes and sit down at that, let's knob knees together and our elbows together. And you're like, yeah, I don't know anybody here, but can I be more comfortable? So we do that quite a bit, but I can tell you it is difficult. But a lot of business takes place specifically, not only on the course, but at the dinner.
Exactly. The 19th hole.
Yes.
The 19th
Yeah.
hole.
Yes.
Which, I mean, there's so many people that it's really debated, and that's kind of the stuff that we talk about in our workshop. It's like, when do you talk business? When do you not?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And that's really important, because you kind of need to know who you're talking to and what do you have a goal for this conversation? Or are you just trying to build rapport in a relationship? Like, those things matter. And so I think something that we like to advise, you're going to go into a business meeting prepared.
Yeah.
If you want to get something out of the golf course and the foursome that you're playing in, you need to go in prepared to that conversation as well. And so we try to give you some help on how to build that conversation. And is it happening on the golf course? Is it happening at drinks? Because that matters.
Yeah, it's us.
But you're teaching them that. So you have a training process. It's not just learning how to golf.
Absolutely.
But it's learning the basics behind it. Talk us more about that.
Yeah, so 50% of women feel that just being able to talk about golf at work has advanced their career.
Oh my gosh.
50%.
Wow.
So
Lower than I thought.
we really want to meet women where they are. It's not about would I love for every woman to pick up clubs and get out there? 100%. Is that realistic? No. So, how can we provide golf cheat sheets? So for the Masters, we'll give you a cheat sheet of where the Masters is, who's playing, what to know, so that you can get
that's
in
a
that
great
conversation
language.
early.
That's a great
so we'll
idea.
send that out in advance of the Masters so that you know. And then afterwards, because that Monday, everyone's talking about who won that game.
Yeah.
And as long as you just have the knowledge to know, hey, it's happening, and that's what they're going to talk about the next day, then you can get in that conversation. And the more you do that, the better it goes. And also, just another tip, just quickly, just knowing that men are bad. Everyone has this assumption that it's the boys' club and they're all so good out there. And you both can attest to, if you sit out on hole number 4 and you just watch four foursomes tee off, I'm sure so many people are not even hitting that fairway. So it's half tools to get it and half in our heads. We're getting in our own way.
Oh, we always do.
I think that's a big part of it too is the etiquette, like you were talking about in the beginning, because that is probably just as intimidating as actually being able to hit the ball off the
If
tee.
not more. Absolutely.
And I think, when you're corrected, if you're on a golf course and you're playing, which we do with like 3 other men, and they correct you, or another female corrects you, it doesn't feel good. And so are you teaching the etiquette behind all
Absolutely,
of that?
because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good. We say play, work good, whatever it is. And so if you know what to do, what's coming up, where you're teeing off, what to wear, when to change, what's appropriate, when you swing and you miss that ball and okay, I'm going to pick it up. Or, wow, we're right on top of these people in front of us. I have time to hit it again. When you just have those little bit of tidbits, individually, not significant. As a whole, for an entire 18 holes of golf, knowing that information can be really empowering to know I deserve to be out there too.
Just fake it till you make it, baby. Everything we do anymore is like fake it till you make it. Like you look at you know what you're doing. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but it makes me look good, kind of a deal. But
Absolutely.
you just have to go with it. And you have to be cognizant in the field too. too. I think when you're out there and asking questions and seeing stuff, and just because you don't know until you try it.
Absolutely.
But you can't be afraid of doing all that. So when you're out there, so what are some of the challenges though? Because building this has been a passion of yours, and we could see it, we can feel it from you, which is so great to see from an entrepreneur. What are some of the challenges though that you're up against right now?
It's interesting. I think community building is really hard. And so first it was like building that brand awareness, which is really important. And now I think we have that. And just kind of like building the train as it's moving is really hard, right?
Yeah.
And so now it's like, okay, what is our revenue generating model? What are our HR policies and procedures? Like, how is all this stuff working? The stuff that you don't think about when you sign on to be an entrepreneur. Like, I'm just like, okay, I see this problem. I have a solution. Then it's like, well, you need the processes, the email, all that stuff to work smoothly. And it's like, Marcia, I'm sure you can speak to this. I'm working on the actual problem, this helping women play golf and empowering them, like 20%. And then everything else is that 80% of just figuring out how to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, you're building it as you go, kind of a deal, which is so hard sometimes because sometimes it doesn't dry before you get to your next step.
Exactly.
And there's always that fear of cracking, and we've all gone through it. And I can tell a lot of women listen to this show, and you can hear me now. And I say, oh yeah, I don't have time to play golf. And yeah, we don't. We're the caretakers. We take care of our kids. We're making sure dinner's on the table. We're the ones basically paying the bills most of the time. It's really hard, but I can tell you for business development purposes, like that's why I got out of my comfort zone to do golf. And it was one of the things that I learned when I worked at Anderson. I had played golf and I was horrible at it. I didn't have my own golf clubs or anything. And people laugh. And I said, you have your own clubs? I'm like, yeah, it was Costco, by the way. But it worked for me. And I did it the night before my first foursome. Yeah, and I had an outfit that I just purchased, and I didn't know what I was doing. I had the wrong glove. I mean, aren't you right-handed? I'm like, yeah.
Today I'm left-handed.
Yeah. Today I'm left-handed. I was like,
yes, I am.
You just lived and learned, and you don't look like you don't know what you're doing. Again, fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. I know, building it as it's moving, fake it till you make it. All of that is so important. And I think, again, just giving women steps for golf, steps for building a business, all of that is so important. And when you can just hang on to like one or two things that kind of keep you going and moving forward, that's the most important thing.
And yeah, go ahead.
No, you got.
I was going to say you were part of Shadow Her, which Shadow Her teaches the entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
The operation side of the house. It's a 6-month nonprofit that we had started. And the idea behind it was seeing a lot of women struggle with the operations.
Oh, absolutely. Huge. And it's not only the operations, but again, the community around it. I talk about building a community for HerClub, but seeing other women who are like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing with operations as well. It's like, it's so encouraging to be like, okay, they're building something that's really successful. Yep. I am too. We both don't know what we're doing, and we're going to figure it out together. And to have Shadow Her and someone like you investing in us and knowing, hey, we're seen, and this is going to be successful because they think it's successful and I know it's successful and I'm going to get it across the finish line. Like, it's so valuable, almost invaluable, quite honestly, right? Because when you're, especially a solo entrepreneur like myself, I don't have that co-founder to go to and be like, I'm not really feeling great today. I'm not feeling motivated. What can we do about that? And you just kind of have to trudge on. So that was an incredible program.
So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Meg?
So, well, I'm thinking about, how our viewers and our listeners can help you. So what types of barriers are you running into, or what type of support do you need still?
Yeah, absolutely. Very funny you asked that question. So very recently, we were working with the golf club, and through our female golf teaching pro, we had that connection, and that female golf teaching pro left, and now they don't want to work with us anymore. And so I think the most important thing is finding golf clubs in Philadelphia and across the country, but mainly in Philadelphia right now, that not only want to bring us in because they know it's good business sense and we're going to pay, but they see the mission behind it and they see the importance of getting women out there and how important that is. So if anyone is invested in this and understands that, we'd love to, speak to you about that, because that's so important. Although what we do is going into corporations and working with their women's groups, also getting women actually in the golf course for our executive boot camps is really important. And when you don't have those partners behind you saying, hey, yes, come to our course, it's really hard. How are we supposed to get more women out there?
Can I ask you, why did they not want to do anymore?
They didn't say. It was a very short email, like 3 lines within like 45 minutes of me sending the email. So I don't know. It could be many reasons, right? Budget. we were not members of that club. There could be many things, but I feel like personally, obviously I'm a little biased. If it was something else, then maybe you would have said that in the email. But they didn't.
But that, you know what, being an entrepreneur, that always gives me fuel for fire,
Yeah,
man.
she's been after it all.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just like, bring it on, kind of a deal. So we're here to help you. But I know we're here about HR after dark, with our drinks. Very dark, very dark.
ASMR.
We all have issues as an entrepreneur in the HR side of the house. What's the number one thing that keeps you up at night?
I don't know, keeps me up at night, but I think something that is difficult when starting your own business is like, I think the people management and all of those policies and procedures as you're bringing people on as a team and like what that looks like. And it's like, ChatGPT, hello, I'm doing this myself. Like until I can engage someone to do that with me, like the O'Connor group, until that happens, you're at a point where you're at a precipice and we're not there quite yet. So those things that we're just like kind of taping together, I would say that those are the things that are just like, I know I'm not doing this how it needs to happen. And those are things that it's like, is that going to come back and bite me in the butt?
Yep.
Well, I have
you
an
just have to
idea
take a
for you.
risk. Yeah.
We have a worksheet. It's basically a checklist for small business entrepreneurs who are doing all of the tasks, like kind of just trying to figure it all out. And it's kind of like a checklist to make sure that you're doing everything right.
Oh,
I'll send it to you.
I love that.
It's like, here are the things you need right now. Don't forget about it.
Right.
Here are the things that you want down the road. And here are like the fun to have.
Yes.
But it's a great checklist. I'm going to send it to you after
Oh my
this.
God, I love that.
Because that's really important that, there's a fear of getting in trouble. There's a fear of like doing things the right way, making sure you're keeping people happy and all the things. So I'll make sure I get that to you.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That'd be so helpful.
Yeah, we do have that list. We have a lot of lists.
Yeah.
A lot of lists.
And the thing is, you guys are always so willing to share it, which is the best part. Like watching you guys as a female-driven company, want to bring other people along and support them. Like, I know you both think that, like, duh, of course, what else would I be doing? But, like, not everyone is doing that. And I think it needs to be acknowledged that, like, I look to you guys, other female founders look to you guys and just say, hey, if they're doing that, I want to do that too. I can do that too. And I can help other people that are just maybe a little further behind me. But it can all happen. So those are the things that are so important. It's
Thanks,
small.
Steph.
I know it seems small to you, but it's much bigger to people like us.
Well, we started, in a basement, had a little room, and you sit back now, you say, "Oh my God, I have policy." And I would tell people, I'm like, "Hey, can I borrow your contract? Hey, can I borrow this?" Because I didn't have any of this stuff. Nor did I could afford a lawyer to oversee it, but I knew their contract had a lawyer to oversee it. So I'm like, okay, we're good.
Absolutely.
But you learn along the way, and you ask a lot of questions. You make a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You also know which ones are givers and versus are takers. A lot of takers.
A lot of takers. Yeah.
And so you want to just give back and all too, because I really do believe in women entrepreneurs. And I think there's a lot of them out there that are quiet. And if you're sitting on the couch and you're saying, I want to start this business, today was that day. You got to do this out there because you'll regret it. And I went on vacation. I read the book, The Alchemist. Phenomenal book.
I just read it as well.
And it was basically screaming and said, either you could have, should have, and go into your deathbed said, I could have done this.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
I want to be that person. I'm like, I tried it. Did I fail? Did I succeed? Didn't matter. It mattered I tried.
Yeah.
And here we are today, 18 years later. But it's pretty cool to see we've had ups years, we've had down years. If I can help another entrepreneur get there and see that potential and that passion. And the great thing about you, Steph, is you have this in-depth passion that a lot of entrepreneurs don't always have. But because you have this, I know you'll be successful. You'll have some bumps along the way, but you'll be very successful because of that passion.
Thank you, Marcia. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's invaluable. Guidance, help, support. Like that's all I want to do for other people because I wouldn't be here without that. Like I'm sure that you both can say that too. And so when you receive it, you want to kind of give it back.
Absolutely.
But you should be really proud. That's a really great testimonial because we don't talk about that a lot. And that is how Marcia trains her whole team to treat customers and to treat teammates. Like it's never about going in for the sale. It's never about, who can do it better and faster. It's about doing things the right way and making sure that everybody else around you feels it and is treated with respect. And that's just how we were all trained here. Everyone's like, how do you get the best teammates? And I'm like, because you find people who, truly care about the work that they're doing. And then we have a great model and engagement here that they just feel like they can do anything they want, which is really doesn't happen a lot at places.
I mean, you still have to do work. You still have to do
Do a
also
lot of work.
that's how we make money, and that's how we pay bills and paychecks. But you have to be a little creative outside the box. You have to start thinking. I hear my friends. I'm in that 5-generation world right now. We all are, and they all keep saying, "I want them all back to work," and I'm like, "Do you?" Yeah. Like, why? Is it because it's a power trip that you see them there? Or is it because you have real estate? I get it. I said, but are they doing their work? Are they doing what they need to do?
Yeah. And
I said, as long as everything's moving and that it's don't mess up. Be like, I said, it's going to be a complete new generation coming through for us to really go back to work. It's just, we opened up that window.
Yeah, you can't shut it.
We don't want to shut it.
Yeah.
We worked so hard to get it there. And I remember, before COVID, I can't even tell you how many people were so afraid to even ask to take their kid to the dentist, or I'm sick, can I take off early? Or like, why even asking me? But some places are like that.
Absolutely.
Life's too short.
Oh, yeah. And how many mothers probably in particular are thriving with working from home a day or two a week and being able to get more done because of it, because we're not commuting, we're not doing whatever else. So
actually, I've read a stat that the number one employee in the workforce right now is a working mother.
Love to hear that.
Which is like
not surprising.
Really incredible. It's not surprising. And, it didn't break it down to like the levels or the type of work, but it's like, you think about that, how much a hybrid work schedule is valuable to them.
Absolutely.
Not have to get ready in the morning and just kind of can hunker down and get your work done.
Yeah.
Hybrid is definitely what we're seeing. So,
but again, it goes back to you supporting and empowering your employees, which is what we were just talking about. And you don't get that kind of trust and value back from them when they're working at home if you don't invest in them in the front end, I think.
Oh, yeah. And I think some people still need a little bit more structure. Some people do better probably in-house than outside because they need that structure and all too. But I think people have to get over the idea that everybody is a cookie cutter. Not everybody's built the same way and they think differently and do differently. It's like school. Everybody wants to put everybody in the same curriculum, the same thing. They all learn so differently.
Yes.
God almighty, if I had Audible back then, I would have done so much better in reading my books and all, because my attention is horrible with reading a book. And so to me, I'm like, I wish they had all these different things. And it's the same thing with employees. You can't fit them all in one bucket.
Yeah.
They're totally different in what they want to do.
Sure. No, that makes total sense. I love that.
What's next for HerClub?
That's a great question. So we are actually going to be launching a community, a formal community where women can kind of get together and really from all across the country and find where other women are located. And we'll do some virtual programming and we'll do some clinics, and our executive boot camps will remain and stuff like that. But, women at the beginning especially want to kind of get out there and be in community with other women until they feel that threshold of like, okay, I can get out there with other men, and then we need to kick them a little to do that. But
I'll be your first member.
Oh my God, I love that. Thank you.
I think that's great. Yeah. That's a really good idea. Make almost like the next pickleball-ish kind of thing out there and all too. I bet you'll be a bigger community than you can think. So, which is really cool. We're here to help.
Thank
that.
you.
Wait, I have to tell a good one funny golf story.
Oh, I love.
I'm sure you have some. I know you have some. So we were at the Delaware County Chamber golf outing last year. It was Delco, I think. Yeah. And my colleague Kat and I invited our friend Jim Sullivan from Clear, and they're a PEO, and he is a fabulous golfer. I didn't know how good he was. He always he doesn't brag about it. He was like a former pro.
Oh wow.
Didn't know how good. So we come in second place in the outing.
Whoa.
And so
that's like never happened, by the way.
Right.
No, I think I actually sat out like 4 holes because I was like, I'll stay here. You just keep going. And we had such a blast. And we come in second place, and they call us up at the dinner at the end, and we go up and we stand up and we win gift cards. And all the guys, I'm thinking about Mitch and some of the other guys, they're like, what are you doing up? I was like, feeling so
look
good.
at me.
I was like, I probably
on a winning team.
used one of my balls the entire time. And I was like, wow, you have to come to everything now, because that was the best feeling in the entire world. All joking aside, it made me want to get better, because I was like, wow, that was That's a high.
I love that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll never forget everybody cracking up. They're like, "How did you find your way up here?"
Yeah.
So we had it was an absolute blast. But Jim's the ringer.
Oh,
well, there you go.
He
One of
has
my
to be in
ringers.
all my.
There's a few of them.
he
Joe,
just
Do you have an
Come
Excel
back to-
spreadsheet
yeah.
of all
Oh, I
your?
do.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Don't
I
you
have
worry.
a fully rotating list of like people that I need to call when we.
But it
we
does
have a
make
really
sense.
good time out there, though. It's like we just have fun.
I applaud you for doing something completely out there. I applaud you for trying to get an idea off the ground. Not easy, as you're finding out,
Yeah.
but you're not done yet.
No.
And I think we're going to help you get that off the ground. So
No,
stay
thank
tuned.
you guys.
It's,
No,
it's so exciting. I can't wait to be a part of it and watch you thrive as you have been.
right back at you guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This has been so fun.
If you want to get a hold of you at HerClub, how do they do that?
Yes, LinkedIn is probably the best way. You can follow us at HerClub on LinkedIn, or follow me, Stephanie D'Angelo, on LinkedIn, or you can email me at hello@joinherclub.com.
And don't
I see
forget,
see
D'Angelo is D''Angelo.
Yes.
And today, guest, this is HR After Dark. I'm Marcia.
And I'm Megan, and we'll see you next time.